8-time winner on the PGA Tour, the Major. You see the WGC match play a couple of times. 3 appearances on the International President's Cup team, 07, 09, and 2011. How about this year's squad? The 12 men tasked to defeat the U.S. for the first time since 1998. That was back in Australia. Speaking of Australia, international assistant captain and 06 U.S. Open champion Aussie Geoff Ogilvy joins us now. It's nice to see you. How would you describe the state of preparations for the international team, Geoff, at this point?
Yeah, hi, Damon. Yeah, I think we're in a really good spot. It's we just made the picks a couple of weeks ago. The international team, we had a sort of a scouting trip to Royal Montreal a week or so ago. The boys are really excited. The WhatsApp chat group is going crazy. Everyone's just ready to go.
You know, everyone talks about the losing streak. We talked to Mike Weir about it, the captain. And he said, yeah, it's there. It's a topic of conversation. How do you use that as fuel, Geoff, without it being a burden for the team?
Yeah, it's funny. I think when if you're on the outside watching the President's Cup and you look at the record, you feel like it's pretty lopsided. But when you're involved, a lot of them, I look back at some of the scores, I'm surprised because they felt a lot closer than they actually ended up. Even last time in Charlotte, it felt like on Sunday we had a real chance with about an hour to go. And then you look at the score, it's like, well, maybe it wasn't so close. Royal Melbourne, we had a real chance. So, I mean, it's tough. We obviously really, really want to win this tournament. It's been a long time since Melbourne in 1998. So I think we just go in with something, feeling like we got something to prove and that our team can hang for sure. The US team's been a bit of a juggernaut in the President's Cup, at least against us. But I feel like we've got a pretty strong team this time. And look, eventually there's so much talent on the international team. Eventually we're going to get it done.
Well, you competed against Mike Weir as a player. What would you say has been Mike's greatest strength as a captain so far?
Well, so far, I mean, look, he's always been a very organised golfer, a very hard worker, sort of very disciplined, organised, sort of level-headed guy, and he's sort of been bringing that to the table so far. Lets all his assistants and all the sort of the helpers and those around sort of put in their 2 cents and give their thing, but he's been making the decisions on his own with all the information. Very sensible, very well thought out, and clearly very proud Canadian. He's very excited to get up there and sort of get to Montreal and get the Canadians excited and have them really get behind our team. So he's been fantastic so far.
Geoff, how about you? How can you as an assistant best help Mike achieve what all of you want to achieve?
I mean, look, I think we've got a lot of experience with the assistants. Obviously, Wizzy's very experienced. We've got Ernie Els, Trevor Immelman, who was a fantastic captain last time in Charlotte, Camilo Bajagas, myself. Am I missing any? I don't think so. We've all been involved in lots of President's Cups for a long time. Ernie's been involved with the President's Cup since the very second President's Cup. So he's been there, seen it all. I guess we just sort of as I said, we put our 2 cents in what we feel have been the great things we've done in the President's Cup, a few things I feel like we've been missing maybe, and we all just put it into the middle. And again, the captain sort of makes the final decision. But I think there's a lot of experience around Wizzy this time. It's been a long time we've been doing this. We've also got some players, and we've got Adam Scott in his 11th or 12th President's Cup. So he's sort of like one of the captains as well, also while playing and being one of our best players. So just use the experience we've got, try to learn from mistakes of the past, try to sort of, we watch the Ryder Cup and we watch how Europe and the US sort of conduct themselves there. We try to take some tips out of that from both teams and just do the best we can on the week.
How about the golf course itself, Geoff? Can it be a golf course that bends to the strength of your team? And if so, how so?
It's an interesting course in that it doesn't feel long, but it actually plays quite long. A lot of guys, there's probably half of this field of the 24 guys have played there before. Probably half of them haven't. There was a Canadian Open back there in 2014. I don't know. It's interesting on foursomes. It can be all the par threes are odd holes. So you can put your iron players maybe on the par threes. The alternate shot is often a place where Quail Hollow also last time had a bit of variety whether you hit odds and evens tees. And so perhaps you can put your strong players at certain facets depending on where they tee off an alternate shot. But more, it's the spirit inside the team, getting them all ready to play the course. We did lots of laps. Well, we did a couple of laps and a few extra little look-sees a couple of weeks ago at Royal Montreal. Mike's obviously been there a lot. He's sent his school guys up. Taylor Pendrith, he played the Canadian Open there. So it's not really a course that really certainly suits a really long hitter or certainly suits a great iron player or a great short game. It's sort of a pretty balanced test. So we're just going to have to get our guys ready and get them to play the course as well as they can and get all excited. And I don't think it's a course that you can really sort of take advantage of with any one skill set. So it's just play well.
What about as an architecture buff like you are? What excites you the most about Royal Montreal? Have you been able to look at any old pictures or kind of dig into the history, or is this all about business and not so much about the hobby?
From an architecture front, I didn't really sort of get too affected. But when I went into the clubhouse, we discovered that the club is about 150 years old. It's one of the oldest clubs in North America. It's been there a really, really long time, well over 100 years, 140, 150 years. And that's always pretty exciting that a group of people have managed to stay together for that long and keep the game going. I don't think golf was a mega sport in Canada 150 years ago. So it's pretty cool that this group of guys, or this group of people, created this golf club. It's not the original site from 150 years ago, but they've been at this place for a long time. They've held a lot of really good tournaments, and Montreal is one of those really unique cities, I think, in North America. It feels very European, and it's great to be playing at a venue that's sort of so old and historic.
It truly is. Geoff, I want to leave you with this. You're wearing the Shield hat. If you bumped into an international fan who was wearing that Shield and he said, Geoff, why is this team, best equipped now to end this losing streak, what would you tell him or her?
Well, look, we've got the top end of our tree, of experience. We've got Hideki's played a bunch of these now. We've got Adam Scott's played a bunch of these. Jason Day's back. He's played a bunch of these. And we've got a lot of experience of really, really high-level world-class players. And the rookies we've got are pretty exciting. I mean, Tom Kim's not a rookie, but he was fantastic last time in Charlotte. Minwoo Lee's an excitement machine. He's the sort of guy who could get going. We've got 3 Canadians who are really going to get the place excited. Just a really good combo of enthusiasm and experience, I think. Come watch us play, representing all places around the world. I mean, we really should have more fans because the US has 300 and so million people, and we've got the rest of the world. So we really should have a lot of fans and to make them all proud. So I think we've got a great combination, as I said, of experience and youth. And they're all great players, and they're all very excited to get there. So come watch us.
That answer just gave me an idea for one more question. Geoff, do you look back at all and say, oh, this is where the thing turned wrong at Quail, or this is where we should have done something different in 07 at Royal Montreal, or is it all about the precious present and looking forward in your mind?
I think there's a bit of both. I think certainly there's a lot of lessons to be learned from stuff that's happened in the past. I know there's usually a debrief afterwards. A month or so later, the captain and the assistants will have a bit of a talk about sort of the great things we did and the things maybe we got wrong. Certainly, there's still some things being mentioned of mistakes we were going to try not to make again in the future that have happened in the past. So it's a bit of both, and it's sort of distilling those ideas, sort of creating the plan for the week, and then just executing the plan. I mean, these weeks, anyone who's ever been involved, things change pretty quick from the first tee shot. Some people are in form, some guys aren't in form. The pairings that you've had set might change quickly after the first day because someone didn't play very well or someone hurts themselves. So you've got to be able to adapt to the week and how it's flowing and how people are playing. It's just you use the lessons of the past to sort of teach you how to adapt, I guess.
Can't wait to the end of next week. See you at Royal Montreal. Geoff, thanks so much for your time this evening.
Absolutely, Damon. Thanks, man.